Good morning, everyone. Myself, Monica Mansupriya, Assistant Professor in the Department of Electrical and Electronics Engineering. In this semester, I'm handling W3017, Embedded C Programming in the Regulation 2021. In this session, we are going to discuss about the serial 80512 interface RS232, that is 8051 serial port programming. So in this first one, this interfacing of 8051 microcontroller with RS232 communication standard is the 8051 microcontroller communicates using serial communication only. So to communicate with computers or external devices, RS232 protocol is used. So the important components in 805 is interface with the 8051 is 8051 microcontroller RS232 and the MAX 232 IC. Before class, we have discussed about these components, and the 8051 uses the TTL voltage levels while RS232 uses the different voltage levels. That is, the TTL means 0 to 5 volt, and the RS232 which is changes to the TTL, and the TTL which is changes to the max 232. So therefore, the max 232 is needed for the voltage conversion. So next one is the RS232 standard. This explains why RS232 standard was developed. For long distance serial communication, the telephone lines are used between the computers. So DCE, what is mean by DCE? Did you know about the term DCE? That is means the data communication equipment. This device that help for the communication. For example, modem. We have to, with the help of the modem, we have to communicate. We are using the data and we are share the data via the Gmail. So this is the DCE, data communication equipment. Then you know about the word DTE. DCE is nothing but data communication equipment, and DTE is nothing but the data terminal equipment. These devices send or receive the data. For example, computer, microcontroller. These are the examples for the DTE. Then why RS232? We are going for the DCE, DTE. Then why RS232 is used? Different manufacturers made different communication devices. To maintain compatibility, RS232 standard was introduced. So if we are having the compatibility, having the stable operation, the RS232 standard was used. What is mean by RS? We are always saying that RS232, 232 is a port number. Then what is mean by RS? Yes, RS stands for the recommended standard. So in interfacing on the standard of RS232, the RS means the recommended standard. Next one is the DB9 serial connector. What does mean by DB9 serial connector? These are all used in the PCs only. So DB9 connector, that is IBM introduced DB9 connector for serial communication. Why DB9? Why? We are using DB 10, we are using the DB, whatever it is. Why we are using DB9, DB25? Not all RS232 pins are required in communication system. So DB925 simplified the connection. So DB25 connector is widely used in the serial ports. So the DB25, these are the 25 pins. So we are using the DB25. So that we are naming that DB25. So what is the important is one is transmission. Another one is the receiver, and the one there is the ground. So these are the DB25 pins. And the 9 pin is also the same only. In this we are having the 9 pins. Since not all pins are used in the PC cables, IBM introduced the DB9 version. We are having the DB25, and the IBM introduced the DB9 cable version of serial input output standard. In this also we are having the three main important pins, that is the receiving, transmission, receiving, and then the ground. Next one is the data communication equipment classification. This classifies the communication devices. The one is we are know about the DTE, that is the data terminal equipment, that device that send or receive data. For example, computer, terminals, microcontroller, these are all. Then the second one is the DCE, that is the data communication equipment. These devices that support the communication. For example, modem. So what is the simplest connection? Minimum three wires required. That is, one is transmission, then the second one is the receiving, and the third one is the ground. So we are having the three wires for the simple connection. That is a main basic simple connection. They require the three wires. Then the important point is the transmission of one device connected to the receiver of another device. So these are the three simplest pins and ports. Or then RS-232 pin. What does mean the RS-232 pin? The RS-232 is a control signal. That is the important control signal. So that we are having the DTR, DSR, and RTS. What does mean by DTR? The data terminal ready, sent by the DTE to indicate it is ready for the communication. The DTR only shows the signal that it indicates the ready for the communication. Next one is the DCR, DSR. That is the data set ready. What it tells? The sent by DSE, then to indicate it is ready. So the DCE sent by the to indicate it is ready. The last one is the RTS. That is the request to send. The DTE request permission to send data. The DTE request permission to send data. Okay. So these signals help in proper coordination between the devices. These signals help in proper coordination between the devices. Next one is the CTS. What does mean by CTS? That is the clear to send. That is sent by the modem to indicate it can receive data. Sent by the modem, it can receive data. Next one is the DCD. That is the data carrier detect. It indicates the communication link is established. How the communication link is established. How it will carry out the communication. So the next one is the RA. That is the ring indicator. It indicates the incoming telephone ring signal. We are having the ringtone only, no. So that is the ring indicator. The RA signal turns on and off according to the ringing. So for the real-time example, it is also used in old modem-based internet connection. The next slide is the handshaking. That is the coordination process between DT and DC. This we are study step by step. First, the DTE sends DTR signal. First, DCE. What is mean by DCE? That is the data communication equipment. Okay, so DTE sends DTR signals. Then the DTR signals is sent by the DTE. So what is the meaning? I am ready. So the DC replies with the DSR. So DSR, what is telling? I am also ready. First, DTE sends DTR signals. Then DCE replies with DSR signal. Then the DTE sends RTS signal. What the RTS signal? I want to send data. So then the DTE sends the RTS signal. So this coordination is handshaking. So this is said to be the handshaking. This we are seeing no. So the receiving DCE response, what the DCE will get respond. So the DCE sends DCD signal. What is the DCD signal? The communication link is established. So no problem. You can send the data. Then the DCE sends CTS signal. What is meant by CTS signal? That is clear to send. Then the clear to send signal means you can now send data. Here the routes are clear, all set. Now you can send data. Then the seventh step is data transmission begins. This the handshaking prevents data loss during the transmission. Then the next slide is the MAX 232 IC. We are already seeing that is the IC is the MAX 232 is a converter IC. The TTL voltage which is converted into RS 232 and the RS 232 is converted into TTL vice versa because of the purpose of MAX 232. So why it was required? The 8051 cannot directly connect to RS 232 devices because the voltage level differs. What is the TTL is 0 to 5 volt. What is the RS 232 voltage is plus or minus 12 volt. So max 232 always act as an interface between the 8051 and RS 232. So this is the interface of 8051 and RS 232. This is the max device. This is the max transmission. Transmission 1, transmission out, receiving end, receiving out. Then the transmission 2, the second transmission is in and the second transmission out. The second receiver in and the second receiver out. This is the max pin diagram. Then the max internal drives. What are the internal drivers of max? That is, we are already discussed. No, T1 and T2 is the transmission drivers, and the R1 and R2 is the receiver drivers. Then the TI1, that is TTL side input connected to transmission of microcontroller. Then the T1 out, that is what is named in the before slide. T1 in, this is the side input to the transmission of microcontroller, and the T1 out is the RS-232 side output connected to DB connector. Then R1 in, that is RS-232 side input to the DB connector, and R1 out is TTL side output connected to the receiving end of the microcontroller. So MAX 232 performs voltage conversion in both the directions. Next one is the serial control. The SCON register, SCON register controls the serial communication in 8051, and the function of SCON register is the configure baud rate and the configure the communication mode. It indicates the transmission and the reception. So that is the receiving station. And SCON is the 8-bit register. It controls UART operation in 8051. And the SCON register bits is SM0 and SM1 is the serial communication mode, and it functions a number of here the SM0 and SM1. That is the serial communication mode. It determines the number of data pins, start bit, stop bit. These are the SM0 and SM1. And the SM2 is used for the multi-purpose communication. These bits decide a framing format of serial communication. So the SCON register, REN and TL, the TI, it indicates the REN means is equals to 1. If REN is equals to 1, the 8051 can receive the serial data. When REN is equal to 0, the receiver get disabled. Then TL, what is meant by TI? That is the transmit interrupt flag. This function indicates the completion of data transmission. The important is TI becomes 1, the 8051 is ready to send next byte, and the timing TI is at the beginning of stop bit. So these are the TI pin, and the next one is the RI, that is the receive interrupt. The receive interrupt function indicates the data byte has been received, and the 8051 receives the serial data, and it removes the next slide. Here, thus RI, the 8051 receives the serial data and removes the start and stop bit, and it stores data in SBUF register, and it's also set RI flag, that is the receive interrupt flag. So RI is set halfway through the stop bit. What is mean by SBUF? What does mean the SBUF? This SBUF stored, transmitted or received the serial data. The TI and the RI are set in automatically by hardware but must be cleared by the software. If we want to clear, we give a command to the CPS, clear to set. Then it will clear the route all the way, and it can having the a chance to get a data, how it will get received, and these are all the important ways and for the handshaking process and the SCON register and the pins of the SCON registers. These are the references, and we will see the next topic in the next video. Thank you.